All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Duke Blue Devils Dynasty mode here in NCAA 2004. And I feel like I'm getting deja vu here. I feel like we've seen the same cover of Sports Illustrated like 3 times in the last 4 seasons, and it's because Virginia Tech has won a lot of national titles. So they are just continuing to be a blue blood here and continuing to be competitive, which I guess is cool. I guess that's nice. We're not there yet, but last we left off here, of course, just a couple days ago, we finished off 6-6 with kind of a I don't know, expected year. I guess there was a game or two in either direction that could have flipped, and I think the results would probably be the same here. So a regression was kind of expected because we lost so much talent and a lot of key positions, especially like our quarterback, losing Aaron Holman to graduation, as an 88 overall, and not really being able to replace all that production in a single offseason, kind of meant that our passing game was a little bit rough. Our offensive line took a step back, and as a result, the quarterbacks that we did have on the roster all pretty much had to step in and play at some point due to injury, which also kind of derailed our offense a little bit here. I think the game plan was fine. I just think offensively we just could not get everything to click consistently. So that's going to be a big thing that we're looking towards as we head into this current offseason, which we are now looking toward. So hopefully we can at least, I don't know, maybe improve on something. I don't know. I'm just hoping that the team can get a little bit better. I've said a year or two off before, and we haven't really been there. So we'll see who we're losing, and then that might make the picture a little bit clearer. So obviously we're losing Lenny Jones, who was supposed to be our primary starter last season, but because of pretty significant injury troubles, he was really hardly on the field. Didn't really get to see a whole lot from Lenny Jones, which is unfortunate because I think with a full season of Lenny Jones, we probably could have maybe won 7 or 8 games. But again, we're really splitting hairs here when it comes to the win-loss. So Oliver Duncan here, we're losing a left tackle in Oliver Duncan, who looks like he's been playing some pretty significant stats the last couple of seasons here, but clearly it didn't contribute last year, so good riddance. Eric Barnes, another senior on the offensive line here. Again, just bad seasons from our offensive line here. Rex Bacon is also gone. He didn't really do a whole lot in his final season, never really got on the field as a primary starter, more of a rotational piece. Cash Anderson and Anthony Westgate here, like our top 2 defensive tackles, are leaving. So that's a huge one here. Well, Cash Anderson sits behind. He's like third. We have a younger guy sitting above both of them, but Cash Anderson still a solid prospect here. Again, just never really found his way on the field in his time. But then Anthony Westgate is a much bigger loss. So one of the better pieces on our defense in the previous season. So losing him sucks. And then, of course, we're losing some DBs here in Derek Maddox. He's graduating. Joe Bentley is also graduating. And Darryl Stewart. So 3 of our top DBs here are all graduating, and we are losing them. I think Darryl Stewart is probably the best player on our defense in terms of overall. So, yeah, unfortunate to be losing this much here. But I have been building this position group over time in the last couple of seasons, so we shouldn't be experiencing too much of a fall off in production from the cornerback position. I think we still have at least a couple guys that can at least match close to where Bentley and at least Maddox was. I don't know about Stewart at an 81, but and then we also have Mike McCown leaving. But remember, we did recruit a new free safety last season who should step into that starting role. I think he was pretty close to a 79 overall entering this season. So I don't think we're going to lose too much there. And then Michael Newton, our strong safety, is also graduating, and I think we're going to have to find some sort of replacement there as well. So I don't think there's too many holes across the team overall, but we definitely have some pieces that we're going to have to try and replace. So we're going to continue now to recruiting, and of course I will chime back in once I have my class and I'm ready to show it off to you guys. All right, guys, I wish I was coming here with a little bit better news, but this game, man, I've never had this much problems consistently recruiting in this game, but this one is certainly given me all that I could freaking handle, man. It's been a rough stretch with Duke, man, just brutal. But we'll get in. We'll get into this, and I'll show you guys here. So here's the breakdown here. We needed a lot of help on defense. So the immediate breakdown of the roster as I got into recruiting was that we needed a lot of help on defense. I was able to get a 4-star defensive end recruit, which is massive, in Brett Turner. We still have a couple really nice prospects still at defensive end, but we don't have a right end. We have 2 left ends, and I don't know. Well, Brett Turner is listed as a right end, so that's good. We at least someone who could maybe play on the right side, but I don't even know if he will start. It depends where he comes in as, but I don't even know if he will start yet immediately. So, and then I also got J.D. Strong, a new 4-star free safety. He's a JUCO transfer. Now, again, we still have, I think Ed Williams is his name, who I recruited last season, who is probably going to start at free safety, but it'll be interesting to see between the two of them who's going to do what. And then this running back, this 4-star running back, was just thrown at me in like the last week or two of recruiting. The game just threw him at me. Brooke Hansen just completely threw him at me. I wasn't targeting him at all. I had 2 weeks to try and land him, and I did somehow, so now we have a new running back, so that'll be fun. I got a 3-star strong safety. He's a JUCO transfer, another transfer as a sophomore. And he should supplement what we already have at strong safety pretty well. And then I was only able to get a 3-star defensive tackle. We needed another one. We're kind of thin at that position right now. There's not much depth there, and I don't think Nick Jackson as a 3-star is going to give us a lot more, but we at least have another body there. I got a lot of cornerbacks, but not a lot of high-end talent, so it looks like it's probably going to be a pretty steep fall-off from the guys that we lost to graduation. So Ivan Kelly, 2-star here. I did get another receiver, just, we don't need one. I was just trying to make the position a little bit better, and Jeff Herron wanted to come here, so we'll see. Maybe someone gets cut. Maybe he gets cut. Who knows? I got another 2-star cornerback here. They threw me this linebacker, a 1-star. A lot of JUCOs, man. A lot of JUCOs. I didn't realize that when I was recruiting. Got another defensive end just for some depth there. Another center because our offensive line just needs the help, and I wasn't able to get anybody else. By the way, only like 8 prospects wanted to come to Duke. I don't know why. Like, only 8 people. The game only gave me 8 people. So I had to really go through all of our pipeline states, in-state, and find the guys who wanted to come here but weren't already listed. We weren't one of their top 3 choices. I had to like go and search for them because there was nobody that was listed that wanted to come here, especially with what we needed on the team, like nothing. So I got a lot of 1-stars in the positions that we needed, but yeah, man, just not a good recruiting class. So we'll see how far we drop off. I think we were inside the top 30 last season, so we're definitely not going to be there this season at all. We're not going to be anywhere close. So Virginia Tech continues to keep on rolling with the top class in the country. Rice, man, up to 4. Remember, Rice was like 9th or 10th last season, so I wonder where Toledo is. Remember, Toledo was first last season, and wow, they're not even here. Are they even in? Yeah, they're 23rd. They drop all the way down to 23rd, so they should still have a good team, though. Still have a good team. Not that it matters, but just something to note, I guess, is now we are going to search and search. We're going to look as far down as we possibly can. We shouldn't be that bad, but I mean, we're probably going to be pretty bad. And we're 63rd. Okay, right behind Eastern Carolina, so we will probably be keeping this rivalry renewed here, because I think we're on a pretty similar track with the Pirates here. So their top recruits are actually worse than ours, so we even got some 4-stars and they didn't, but they did load up on the 2s and 3s, which is probably something that we probably could have benefited from a lot. So we're stuck right here in the 60s, kind of just perpetuating this mediocrity that we're seeing here. Fred Kirk might not be the guy, man. He might not be the guy. We'll see, man. We'll see. Training is going to be massive, dude. It's going to be huge to see what we get from training and what the depth chart looks like, because unless a lot of the guys already on the team take a massive step, we're going to be in a pretty rough spot after this season, man. A pretty rough spot. So I wanted to show you guys some of the people, because there were a couple I lost. So this guy right here, I had him for probably like 3 weeks or so. He was like in on us. He wanted to come. We were one of his top 3 choices, and he ended up just flipping to Georgia. So that was a huge loss. God, we really obviously needed him, but that was a massive loss. And then the only other one that I think I was really looking at, I think I might have been in on Manuel Vaughn, maybe. I don't know. He's from Maine, so I doubt it. But there is another one down here. Yes, Gene Smith, I think is who I was thinking of. I was definitely in on Gene Smith. I wanted him. He's a 4-star defensive tackle. Ended up flipping to Wake Forest. We just could not land him. We struggled finding what he wanted. I don't even think he was really that jazzed about playing first anyway, but he ends up flipping and going to Wake Forest. But those are the 2 big recruits that I lost. So now we're going to get into training, and hopefully we get a huge boost in talent or something, man, because this team desperately needs it. So we're going to chime back in once we have our training results. All right, so we're looking for some major boost here, and this is massive. Javon Battle moving up 7 points here to 73 overall. That is humongous, because the tackle situation on our team right now is really bad. It was bad last year. 73, I don't think really makes the grade, unfortunately, still, but it's just massive because we weren't able to load at tackle, so we really need a big step forward from the guys who are already on the roster. Keon McMullen, one of our best defensive players, gets a breakthrough here in training, gets up to a 78. Still kind of lower than I thought. I thought he would develop a little bit more, but, I mean, he was pretty low when we got him, so can't be super shocked here. Craig Ballard up to a 74 here. It looks like, again, the average is going to be close to that 70 area. Oh my gosh, Evan Christensen up to an 84, man. So defensive end is going to be pretty impressive here. We've kept good pass rush the last few seasons, man. We've had decent pass rush, so I'm not super shocked, but it looks like it's going to stay pretty good here. Marquise Hatcher up to an 80, which is also massive for us here. Bruce Sanders up to an 80, so we're getting some 80s in some good spots here, man. We really need that. And Dan Hobson was a guy overlooked last season who ended up having a pretty good year because of injury and rotation on the offensive line, and he's up to a 79 now, so he might be a primary starter depending on how the line ends up looking here, especially with the center position kind of lacking in a little bit in a few areas here. So we have Junior Hicks up to an 83s at running back. Wes McClain up to an 80. Oh my goodness, man. We have some solid pieces here, guys. I'm getting pretty jazzed. We really just got to get in and see what the rest of the roster is going to look like. Quarterback's going to be an issue. Quarterback is going to be a question mark, man. We have some good young guys at the quarterback position on the team, but they were all low. They were all like 69 was the highest. So we already saw up there that one of them was up to a 73. So yeah, Willie Nixon up to a 72, so we're going to be getting a good look at exactly what that's looking like, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of low guys here. We have a lot of dudes in the mid to high 70s, so we might actually be better than I was anticipating. I thought we would kind of still be pretty rough here, but it looks like we're actually in a pretty decent spot. So let's get into the depth chart now. Well, I guess I'll skip through the cut players phase, because there are probably only some depth guys that I'll need to cut off, but we'll skip right in. Yeah, okay, well, here, I'll show it, I guess, because the game beat me to it. So we have two players we got to cut loose here. We'll probably just cut one of these receivers down here. Yeah, as a junior at 66, Jeff Aaron, that's who we just got. He's gone. He's not going to stick around, obviously, here. And then there's got to be someone else. Oh, man, probably the center I just got. Yeah, the freshman center I got. Yeah, you probably got to go. I'll just cut you instead. You're a junior, Keenan Williams. Goodbye. Too bad, so sad, and that should do it. We'll keep everybody else. And now we're going to move into the depth chart. So I'll cut back in when we load that. All right, now we're in it, man. The moment that, well, I guess I've been waiting for. You might have been waiting for it over there, wherever you're watching your car. Hopefully not in your car. At home, in your office, at school, wherever. You might have been waiting and anticipating this year 8, 7 depth chart. But anyway, here it is. So Carlon Scott is up to a 73 here. Looks like he'll be the starting quarterback. Willie Nixon, I do like with the speed. He could be a mobile quarterback, but that might make him a little bit more injury prone. But who knows? Maybe with this offensive line, it's good to have a mobile quarterback. I'm not sure. I'll look at their throw power and accuracy and see which one is the better play, because there might be something there. So they both have 73 throw power, and their accuracy is off by 1 point. So I think I'm actually going to go with Willie Nixon to start first this season because of the speed. I think I want a mobile quarterback this year. I think that's actually going to help us out a little bit. So we're going to go with Willie Nixon as our starting quarterback. We have Carlon Scott behind him. They're both sophomores, so we'll probably be seeing both of them at some point, either through this season or after this season. Both of them will probably start and share that position until they graduate, I would imagine, unless we get a better quarterback. So Junior Hicks up to an 83. He's probably just going to lead the charge here. I do like Brooke Hansen at a 90 speed, man. Speed's key in these older games, guys. I've said it a million times on this channel. It's key. But still, Junior Hicks is a well-rounded, better player, way better than Hansen, almost 10 overall points better. So we're rocking with Junior Hicks, of course. Wallace Christensen up to a 75 at fullback. Trenton Cross up to a 76, and Victor Marsh up to a 74 as a sophomore. So it'll be interesting to see where these guys finish as seniors, because I think they might get close to 80. I don't know if we'll crack it, but they might get close. Sidney Peterson up to a 72 as a senior, and then L.C. Hollins up to a 72. This right here is a solid 4 spot right here. Like, between these 4, we shouldn't have any problems as far as receiving goes. So I think our passing game should be decent, especially when you got Devin Poole up to a 76 as a senior, and then Tyson Dillard should take that spot next season. So we're good at tight end as well. We're loaded there. All right, tackle situations where things are going to get interesting. So Dan Hobson's already listed as our starting left tackle. We're going to look through the line and see what we can switch around. So Javon Battle is up to a 71 as a left guard. So I'm guessing that's why they did that, because Javon Battle probably should be the starting tackle here, but because we don't have a left guard that can play there, I mean, there's literally, we don't even have one listed. So Javon Battle's probably the best option at left guard here at a 71, unfortunately. So Craig Bauer is going to be our starting center at a 74. Marquise Hatcher up to an 80 at right guard, and then Bruce Sanders up to an 80 at right tackle. So it looks like the left side of our line is going to be really rough, but the right side is going to be just solid. It's going to be good. So a lot of runs to the right side, folks. a lot of runs to the right side. A lot of rollouts to the right side. Okay, so defensive end, Lee Evan Christensen up to an 84 as a senior. Probably the best player on the team, I think, in terms of overall. And then on the right side, we have Brett Turner listed, but we're obviously going to start Ralph Roundtree. I mean, we got to start Ralph Roundtree as a sophomore. Yeah, these guys are going to lock down the edge. And then a defensive line between the tackles here. Wes McClain up to an 80, obviously, as a senior is going to start. And then Nick Jackson is a freshman is going to come in here, one of the guys we just brought in as 74. So good to see that he's already going to be kind of a major contributor already, and there's not a ton behind him, so it's kind of between McLean and Jackson. That's kind of it. All right. Obviously, at linebacker, once again, man, we got to put in Keon McMullen at an 82 on the left side. Of course, in the middle, Chucky Gordon is going to hold that position here. Going to have some questions about linebacker after the season, man. Everyone's getting kind of old. So, this is our last season with Gordon, our last season with McMullen. So, we're going to have to really evaluate the linebacking position after this year, man. It's going to be rough. And then Travis Moultrie is going to be on the right side. Our big blue chip from last season is still here, up to an 81. So, it'll be fun to see how he develops. Jeremy Rhodes, as a sophomore, up to a 76, is going to be our starting DB, with Jason Hutchins, a freshman, a redshirt freshman, is going to be behind him, a guy we brought in last season, who I thought would be somewhat of a contributor this season, but ended up not even being listed. And then one of our backup strong safeties is here. Oh my God, we have safeties. Oh my God, this is awful. Our other cornerbacks don't even get on the roster, man. Oh, it's bad. It's real bad, guys. Not great. Ed Williams, up to a 76, is going to start at free safety for us, and then Miguel Stanton now taking over the job in the wake of what we lost, of course. So he's up to a 75 here. Love that speed, though. Love the speed. And then Richie Johnson, man, we just never had a good kicker here in Duke, and I don't think we ever will. So I think kicking is just, it's a bygone thing. We're not even worried about it. But, all right, so after looking over the roster here, I think it's actually better than I anticipated. Now, what that means in terms of, I don't know, competing? I'm not entirely sure. We might go with a very cupcake schedule here, just to try and just get over that hump, man. I feel like if we just get to that 8-9 win, threshold, we'll be golden, man. This thing will be a done deal. So let me cook something up here with the schedule, and you guys might not like it. It might be a little bit easier than it should be, but I just work with me here, okay? Cut me some slack. Let Fred Kirk do his magic, okay? Just give me a second here, and let me see if I can cook up a decent enough schedule here. All right, y'all, this is probably, you can probably already tell, and, mind you, this is including, years worth of, of sim, so, these guys might not mean exactly what you think they mean, but even then, you can still look at this and be like, oh, man, that's a pretty cupcake schedule, and you're right, it is. So it originally gave us 2 games against Central Michigan, so I had to remove one of those, but we basically, my philosophy here was MAC and Sun Belt. That's basically what I went for. So we got Central Michigan, I added Middle Tennessee State to it, Buffalo was already on it, I added Louisiana Monroe and removed UNLV, added Idaho. Wyoming is literally the worst team in FBS. They're 117 of 117. They're the worst team currently in the sim right now, which is crazy because Syracuse is the only team last year that went 0-12, so I would figure Syracuse would be, in there somewhere. They might be 116, I don't know, but I didn't add Syracuse. They only win this team. Wyoming at least won 2 games last year, so NC State is actually listed in the 30s ranking-wise, so this is probably a losable game here. It's also a road game. Kent State is also ranked higher than we are currently, so this is another losable game, I guess. And then, of course, we have Navy, Louisiana Lafayette, and Troy State, and then I've kept ECU as well. So the only teams that are ranked above us, I think, are Troy State. They're 69. We're 70-something. And then Kent State and NC State, of course, are ranked higher. But outside of that, every other team is below us a little bit. Not by too much. Idaho's 86, I think. They're pretty close. Buffalo, I think, is 96. You know what I mean? They're all in that range somewhere. So, but the point is that this should be a very winnable schedule. We should be able to find 8 wins somewhere on this and maybe get an at-large bid for a bowl. That's the ceiling right now. That's what I'm hoping for. And I feel like if Fred Kirk can't get it done this season, that might even be it, I know we got the contract extension, but we still need to maintain the prestige and at least, receive the bowl bid. So the expectation's not super high here in Durham, but, we still have to get there, and we haven't really got there. So now I'm going to keep the coaching stuff, I think, about the same. I think, I don't want to sub much. We don't have a lot of the depth still. At receiver, we probably could. Same with running back, but I really don't want to. I want to stick with the guys that we have at the top there. I want to pass a lot more. I think we could probably balance it. I'll change that. I'll balance it a little bit because we actually do have a pretty solid run game, or at least running back situation, so we should be able to run the football a little bit more. And I'm going to keep us aggressive here. I'm going to keep us. Maybe if I lower it, that'll help with the injuries. Maybe, I don't know. We'll try a little bit more balanced here. But then defense, yeah, we'll probably keep the philosophy about the same. I think. Yeah, there's not a lot here. I want to keep it balanced down the middle here because again, I don't think we thrive in any one specific area on defense. So I'm just going to keep it as balanced as we can. I guess I'll look at the report card and see because our job security is an A+, and I'll look at our contract here. So we need to receive a bowl bid. That's kind of the thing. We're in the final year of our contract, and we need to receive a bowl bid. So I think if we don't get it and we still have like a 500 or better season, I'm sure we'll probably still get extended. But you know, barring a major collapse, I think we'll still keep our job, but we definitely need to receive that bowl bid to try and get another contract extension. So 24 and 24 at most schools would not be acceptable, but in Durham, of course, that's like life-changing. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see. So I'm going to save now, and then we're going to run the sim, and I'll chime back in. All right. We're back, everyone. Back in with the results of the sim, and a wide receiver, from Tulane has won the Heisman. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely crazy, man. I love stuff like this. Absolutely crazy. I never even mentioned, in Conference USA last season, there were like 5 teams that were 7-6, like at the top of the conference. Very weird. Very, very weird stuff. But either way, Tulane maybe put it all together here. But you know who else put it all together this season? Your Duke Blue Devils, baby. We put it all together. 10-2. They ranked us. You cowards, they ranked us. Number 23 in the country. We got ourselves a bowl game in Fort Worth, Texas, in the Fort Worth Bowl against UAB, baby. Let's go. Let's go. We did it. Finally, one of these easy schedules broke through. We were able to break through, and after 7 seasons or so of doing this, we finally found ourselves in a bowl game against UAB. Very like-minded or similar competition here, but we did it. So now let's look over our schedule here. Excuse me. Okay. What do we ranked with UAB first to start off? They're 67, so interesting here. Look at all these numbers. Look at that. You see all those top 30, top 25 numbers? We were a good team this year, guys. We were actually a good team. If you can believe it, we were a good team. Don't let the schedule fool you. Do not let strength of schedule fool you. Back in this era, it didn't exist. It's not real. Don't look at the combined opponent's record. It's irrelevant. Okay? Irrelevant. So we picked up a couple of big wins. Obviously, grabbed our first loss of the year to Buffalo by just a touchdown. Buffalo ended up having a decent season, so can't be super fooled by that one here. Picked up some big wins against the Sun Belt opponents here. Wyoming, another 2-win season. Picked up another loss to NC State, who's ranked just a couple spots above us here at 18th, which makes sense that we lost that game. They're 8-5, man. Come on. We're 10-2. Where's the respect to this Duke team, okay? Forget about the schedule. Barely beat Kent State here. Very close nail-biter with Kent State. Picked up wins against Navy, Lafayette, and Troy State. A very close win against Troy State. That would have been a catastrophic loss. A very catastrophic loss here. And then absolute drumming of ECU, who, remember, finished a spot above us in terms of recruiting. So we end up on top with the very last laugh. So typically this would be the point where we go through all of these stats and the recap, but I think I'm actually going to save that. I'm trying to think because I want the gameplay to be its own separate thing. So maybe we actually will go over the stats real quick. I don't know. I don't really want to show stats until we finish with this bowl game because excuse me, because I think this is the first NCAA that includes the bowl stats into the actual season stats. If it's shocking, I know, but I don't think 03 and 02 do that. I think 04 is the first NCAA game that actually thinks they thought to code to have the stats of the bowl game actually count towards the actual season stats. So I kind of want to do that before. I don't know. I know it probably sucks me trying to figure this stuff out on the flyer, but we have an extra game to play, so I don't really want to end the season quite yet because we have an extra game to play. So in the next video, I think I'll end it right here, and then in the next video, because there's a lot that's probably going to happen here. Again, we're at the end of our contract, so we'll definitely probably be getting extended. But even with a season like this, we might even be able to head back to the ACC potentially. That might be on the table. I'm not sure. We might need another season like this to get back in the ACC. I have no idea, but after the season, there's probably going to be a lot of change after our bowl game, so let's see if we can just win this bowl game. Let's focus on that ahead. I'm going to end the video here, keep it a little bit shorter, and then the next one, we will have gameplay for the first time, guys. We will actually have gameplay, so this one might take, the next episode might take an extra day or so, because I'm going to have to record the game, and then edit the game, and then VO in the game, and you get it. You understand that. So I'm going to shoot to try and have it out by Saturday, but we'll see what happens. So either way, thank you guys so much for watching. In the next one, we will be in the Fort Worth Bowl here, playing against the UAB Blazers, who I did mention earlier in a Bills episode, like last week, that Trent Dilfer might lose his job in real life, and and he did. He did lose his job after UAB's most recent game, so Trent Dilfer's now unemployed. So UAB fans rejoice, Trent Dilfer's gone. But in this game, they have a completely different coach who we do not know, and he's coached the Blazers to a 7-6 season, and he's looking to beat us in the Fort Worth Bowl. So, hope to see you guys in Fort Worth, Texas, when we play our first bowl game finally after 7 seasons. Don't worry about it. 7-8 seasons. Don't worry about it. But we're finally in a bowl game. So, hope to see you guys then when we play the Blazers.